My husband and I were traveling. My daughter was dog sitting, and she had kind of an unusual episode where she was kind of asleep, jerked awake, and then recovered almost immediately. But my daughter realized that something was wrong, so she took her to Dr. Dupre at the small animal hospital up here in Fort Myers, and he recommended Dr. Scruggs. I didn't know there was such a thing as a doggy cardiologist, but there is. You're apprehensive on all sorts of levels. You know, you're apprehensive thinking, oh gosh, you know, I have a little dog and now she's, you know, going to be worth Fort Knox. You know, you're not quite sure, you know, what the cost of the surgery is going to be. And then my concern was she's small. She weighs 10 pounds. Dr. Scruggs said that the smallest dog she's ever put a pacemaker in was a 1¼ pound Yorkshire Terrier. Evidently, normal heart rate for a dog this size is about 120 beats. Hers was 60, and also irregular. So even with the medication she was having, while she was waiting for the surgery, her heart rate was only getting up to 80. Well, the most difficult thing, I think, for anyone who has this sort of surgery, I think, is that you feel so much better. Her heart is working better than it did before, so she's ready to be active. And the 6 weeks, essentially, recover period where she has to be fairly restful, not too much activity, not too much excitement, is important to create the scar tissue that holds the wiring in place, that keeps the pacemaker essentially in situ. So really, it's been fairly simple recovery. Just feeling guilty about keeping her confined. And the only difficult thing we have now is that if I take her through the airport, she'll have to have a little card that tells the TSA people that she has a pacemaker. And as to how believable they'll find that, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of people said, oh, it's you know, expensive. And the truth is, you know, when you think about it in the scheme of things and how comfortable and how attached we become with them, it's just awful to think about losing them, you know, this young. So, you know, so we hope another 7 or 8 years is in the works.